All right. We're live. All right. I'm here with Brian Vieaux of Finlocker and running a little bit behind because I was just chatterboxing behind the scenes. So we wanted to get launched off here. I wanted to introduce everybody to Brian and what Finlocker actually is. And so, but at first I want to step back real quick. I wanted to do it's just kind of a backstory of Brian. And Brian's been in the business for, 30 something years or more. In the banking side of this, he worked at Flagstar, and when I worked there on the retail side, he was in charge of that. He's been at the high levels of banking and just really ingrained in that world. Knows, I mean, if you want to know something about it, Brian's your guy. He'll know about any answer you need to know on this. And so, what's really interesting is Brian went from this side of the business, the corporate side, to a financial services startup, and became the president and has been everywhere, all over every single mortgage event, everywhere, sharing this new tool called Finlocker. And I'm bringing this tool to my clients as of tomorrow. I'm going to get this going for my clients because this tool is an amazing tool that helps you take control of your finances. It helps you through the mortgage process, but it also helps you through your whole financial picture. And the way they've built this thing out, I wanted to get Brian on the show to let people see how this thing works and understand this whole thing and see how this whole thing actually works, because it's an amazing tool. And but the story behind how you went from just running a large operation in the banking and mortgage space into being in a total financial startup. Now, I do know at the same time Flagstar was pretty high tech.
Yeah.
So it kind of almost makes sense. But I want to bring you on. Let's just.
I love it. You're too kind, Joe. So yeah, I as Joe said, I 27 years is what I did in the mortgage production side of the world, with a lot of that in national banks, most recently Flagstar Bank. And Joe and I met as colleagues back at Flagstar, and I was in the retail business, managing our distributed retail mortgage business. And then I moved back to a part of the business that was really where I spent most of my career, which is third-party origination. So that business, we at Flagstar acquired loans from mortgage brokers, mortgage bankers, banks, and credit unions. And it was over the last 5 years that I started to see and learn about Finlocker. So first off, I've known two of the three founders of Finlocker back to the late 90s. And we've had business relationships and friendships established. And so when they launched Finlocker a little over 5 years ago, at Flagstar, we were very interested in what they were doing and started to dig in and kind of see where they could help our business at the time. And at the time, they were really focused on creating efficiencies inside the mortgage process, really focused on the digitization of asset information. So old school, mortgage application, consumer has to bring in 2 months bank statements. Loan drags on past 60 days or 90 days, and now they've got to come back to their loan officer with another month's worth of bank statements. In current, the current environment, the majority of consumers now can digitally share their asset data in lieu of bank statements, and that's what Finlocker really built back 5 years ago, and then built a whole piece of analysis around that to help processors and underwriters. Well, they pivoted from a middle of the process tool to actually build out more of a consumer experience. And today we're better known as a consumer engagement platform, and happy to dig into that. But for me, having seen Finlocker and other fintech companies out there over the last few years, what I was watching was the large fintechs that were more consumer direct, some lenders that are more online focused and consumer direct, but both had a focus on getting to the consumer first. And the end game is really not to get to the consumer first, but to disintermediate the local originator. And as I started studying Finlocker and its features and functionality, and the fact that we're not a B2C platform, we do not go directly to the consumer. All of our product is only distributed through other companies or originators, lenders, banks, credit unions, et cetera. And so Finlocker provides a vehicle or a tool for that local originator, local real estate professional to be able to compete with these large fintechs. And that got me super excited. Being on the third party side, I knew and know a lot of lenders like yourself. And I thought this is a product that can really help this segment of the business compete with larger fintechs. And so that led me to not only invest in the company, but to join as an employee. And so it's been a riot, frankly. It's been a lot of fun so far. Definitely learning things about myself that I wasn't aware of. So it's been fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, you have, the tool itself, watching, and we'll get into, I pulled up a video. It's an older video of it, but I got one we'll share a little bit about how it looks and how it operates. But this tool, and coming onto my side of this, my whole brand is digital mortgage and the digital mortgage guy. And so my experience for my clients is I want to bring them a digital mortgage experience. And this tool allows me to help them accomplish that and be able to have everything, because everyone's doing everything, right here or right on their computer. And so everything is going that way. And I find a lot of my clients are very digital and get me everything. So I want it to be very streamlined and very, very focused together. And this tool not only allows them to do that, but it also allows them to really engage their financial picture. And what I find is for you to be able to look at one page and you can see your whole financial picture, and your home is a big component of that.
Yeah.
It shows you everything there. And so you can just literally see where you're at and kind of gauge what you need to do or what's going well or what's not going well for yourself. And so you've got a tool that really allows you to do that. And with a push of a button, when you're working with myself with a push of a button, I can get all your documents that I need to get your loan moving. So you're not having to dig all this stuff up and go, oh, I got to get this, I got to get that. It's in your locker and I can get it. And you just share it to me and I've got it and we can move forward. And it's just so easy.
Yeah.
And the way you guys have built this thing, and then watching the way you have grown it as far as coming from nowhere, like no one really knowing what it is, and seeing you at all the events, it's a testament to how sales works, to watch how you've built this thing and shown how if you put the effort in and you work hard and you meet the people through digital platforms, through face-to-face, how you can grow this thing, because it's really taken off. I mean, I've seen it all over the place. And I'm excited to share this with all my clients because of how this thing actually works and everything. I'll pull it up here in just a second here for us to take a look. Let's see here.
Yeah, while you're pulling it up, I could maybe talk through some of the functionality that benefits a consumer. And for those that are watching that are in the mortgage business, I'll point out some features in functionality. And as Joe said, this is an older demo video. This probably represents, easily 12 development cycles back. So there's quite a lot of additional features and functionality. But from a consumer perspective, the way we've gone about this is building a platform that creates a single pane of view in terms of where a consumer can see their entire financial life in one dashboard. And what Joe, what you've got shown here is the desktop version of Finlocker for a consumer to view on their computer, laptop, etc. We also are mobile enabled. We're a native app on iOS and Android. The dashboard does allows you to enroll your credit and be able to see your credit score, see and monitor your credit report on a regular basis, and then in real time receive any alerts that may show up or be pushed to your credit report, like you had a account opened or an inquiry was made. So it's a great way just to stay on top of your credit report, make sure there's no funny business going on with somebody messing with your identity and opening accounts in your name. So credit is a value add for the consumer. We also allow the consumer to enroll their entire financial life. So basically, the way I describe it is, if you have online credentials for an account, you can enroll and sync that account to the Finlocker. And so once you've synced your account to the Finlocker, not only will we aggregate and show you in a single snapshot your account balance, but we'll also bring in all the transactional data from that account. So if as a consumer you enrolled your checking account, a couple of credit cards, your mortgage, maybe an auto loan just to start, as soon as you've literally synced those accounts in your locker, we're bringing in all the past transactional data and filling your locker with that data. And then every night we bring in the prior day's transactions. And so where that starts to be powerful for a consumer is using the budgeting and goal tools. And then what's not showing in this view is we have a new spending analysis. So in real time, we're helping a consumer understand, where is my spending going and what am I spending money on a monthly basis? And then allowing you to establish budgets and managing and monitoring your actual spending against specific budgets. And then Joe, as we talked about earlier, we're heavily focused on home and mortgage. And we've just launched a new view of the budget that is a mortgage budget that's specifically geared for a mortgage budget. And that tool will especially help first-time home buyers understand how to really align their spending in order to be approvable for a mortgage, but then to be a responsible homeowner and mortgage borrower. So a ton of financial benefit for consumers in there. They can enroll their property and track the value of their home if they're already a homeowner, as well as get updates on recently sold properties near their home. We call that the nosy neighbor feature. We've also launched real estate search. So from a consumer's locker, they can search for real estate, so that first-time home buyer who's on the journey can not only get educated, get financially prepared, and they can also search for real estate on their locker. And the locker's smart enough to know and tell them when they've searched on a property if it's in their range in terms of being able to afford that home. So a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much more. You almost have to get into it and start playing with it, because there's a ton there. You could literally find a reason to go into your locker every day as a consumer, which is cool.
That's kind of what my strategy around it is going to be. And I think other loan officers will probably be able to take advantage of that, and other mortgage companies as well, is I'm actually going to use this tool as in a presentation format to be able to show them how, get in, even if we haven't started a loan yet, we could get you into this program and get you onto this, plug you into this system, show you how to capture your finances and coach them up into a situation to where they've got a hold of their finances, so they're ready when it's time to buy a home. So I think it's a good tool for a first-time home buyer as well as an existing home buyer.
Yeah.
So a first-time home buyer can literally, like you said, they can work their way into qualifying themselves because they have a lot of tools right there in front of them. So that's kind of the strategy that I'm looking at with it, because and also when I do loans for folks, I want to be able to give them their own locker, their own Finlocker, so that they can manage all of their stuff and have everything right there. So that's the strategy behind it, because I think when I've deep dived it and we did a demo on it, I mean, I believe in it, and I think every mortgage company honestly should get involved with it, because I think it's a great tool, and it just will simplify it for everybody. in this process,
Yeah.
because a mortgage can be a cumbersome, stressful process.
Right.
And if you're not ready for it, and you don't have someone coaching you along in the right way, it can be stressful, and doesn't need to be, though.
Yeah, and I would a couple of things I would add to your comment there. First of all, you've got a great T-shirt, the Digital Mortgage Guide. So, how cool is it that you're going to be able to offer your clients, your prospects and clients, this digital financial health and wellness experience that also can enable a mortgage transaction. I think with your branding personally, and the Finlocker experience, I'm just excited to see how that takes off for you. And then secondly, you nailed it with respect to the first-time home buyer. They don't just wake up on a Saturday morning and say, "I'm going to go buy a house today." That process starts, with some analysis, and the best loan officers are getting in front of that consumer as early in that process as possible and becoming a trusted consultant for that consumer through their journey. And so we view the Finlocker as one component of that experience. And frankly, we're not the most important component. You are. It's your personal relationship and the consultative experience you bring to that consumer. We just help you by powering it a little bit and put your brand and your logo and your front and center inside the locker. It's all about you. It's not about Finlocker. We're here to help you and empower you as an originator in your market to be really differentiated from the competition. But then going the other, I got to go this way. My screen's backwards. Going post mortgage closing, right? So now you've closed a customer. The locker itself doesn't evaporate and disappear. It is a true customer for life platform now, because you're continuing to add value for that consumer around their ongoing financial management of their life. Now you can give them a tool to track the value of their property, as well as keep tabs on, recently sold properties near theirs. We have a whole capability around storing important documents. And, I think I heard someone quote the other day, the average consumer over the course of their life is gonna get 9 to 11 mortgages in the course of their life, and some of those are going to be move ups, right? And some are going to be refinances, whether it's taking advantage of a drop in rates or taking advantage of available equity to take cash out. And so, if you think about the value of a customer, it's not about one loan; it's the lifetime value of that customer. And if you can keep them in a tool, a piece of technology that's under your logo in your tech stack, the likelihood of them staying with you, I think, just increases exponentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's my screen just blanked out on me for some reason. So technology. It's just getting me. It's wanting to log me out of my email.
I still see it here, man.
My whole screen just goes, and it says, "Do you want to leave?" But yeah, I mean, in my clients, I want them to. And I think a lot of loan officers are this way. Is we want to be able to make sure that they're taken care of and that they understand what the whole process is about. And then after the fact, we don't want to just be gone and they never think of us again. This tool allows them to be able to continue to manage their finances, and then I can still be engaged and help them out. Yeah. And so that's where, if they had a question, they could communicate, they could share stuff right off of their locker with me, so I can help them out immediately. Yep. And just, try to make this thing work really well for them. And so I just think this is an amazing tool, and how you guys have built this thing out. Like I said, the old video that I pulled up, I was like, oh, this isn't quite enough, but it at least get people to see it's even better. And being able to shop for homes right on there, they can see houses. And so as they see them, they can say, hey, I like this house. And then that's where I can say, hey, if you talk to this realtor, she or he can help you get into this house and guide you along there. So, it allows us to keep the consultation going, and that, we're their trusted advisor, and that's what I'm really gaining for. And again, to smooth it out and make it as easy as possible for everybody, because I'm so happy you guys created this, because it's making my life easier on what I've been wanting to do, a digital mortgage platform for 10 plus years. And as you know, mortgage has been so far behind the curve on that. When I was at Flagstar, was actually one of the best experiences because they were so far along with technology. It was nice and when I was a mortgage broker, I always sent my stuff to Flagstar at the time. This was back, I don't know, 2001, 2, 3, because they were the best on the technology side. This is the easier way, and so I've always been wanting it. And so I'm finally, after being in the business 23 years, I'm finally getting there.
Well, I think here's what I would say on that. As much as you wanted to have the technology available, I don't think the consumer population was ready.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen in the last 2 years, consumers kind of get to a place where they actually expect a digital experience. But what's been fascinating to me is, as much as they expect a digital experience, they still want to be able to talk to somebody.
Correct.
And that's where your business model, combining state-of-the-art consumer-facing technology with the relationship aspect of your business, it's brilliant. And I think it has longevity. Real relationships don't go out of style, as they say.
Yes, I agree with that. I love technology, but at the same time, I want to be able to talk to somebody. I had to get a hold of Google the other day.
Yeah.
Nightmare. The technology is great, but if you really need to talk to somebody, you just don't have it there. And that's the thing that I've always wanted to do in this mortgage side, is give you all the tools you have to be able to handle a lot of the stuff that you want to handle. But I'm just a text or a phone call away. And so therefore, and eventually I'd want it to actually be even a button where they could push a button and I can pop up.
And I think I've seen studies that talk about this elusive millennial home buyer, right? They clearly they want to do as much as they can from their phone, but they also still value the relationship. Mm-hmm. They still value being able to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with the minutia. They'd rather just do that on their own digitally. But when they need help and they need consultation, they expect to be able to talk to somebody.
100%. Every one of my millennial clients, it has been that way. I had one particular client that communicated 100% through Snapchat. Everything Snapchat, but we were video chatting, so it was very engaging. And so they could ask me questions and stuff, and then they would use my mobile app to do docs and do all the other stuff. But they wanted to be able to Snapchat me, bang, pop me right up.
Right.
And so they had the engagement. Even though we weren't physically there, they could still talk to somebody.
Right.
And it was a really, really smooth transaction. It was really easy to use Snapchat that way. But I've done it through Facebook Messenger. I've done a lot of business through Facebook Messenger. A lot of people communicate that way. So a lot of my millennials, that's what they do. They love video text.
Right.
I have a number of them that use Telegram, which is an awesome tool. We're set up on Telegram, and we can just do everything that way. So I'm on every platform because I know everybody has all the platforms. So depending on what platform you come to me with, I'm going to be on it, so I can work on it.
That's super smart. And I'm waiting to see you originate a mortgage on TikTok, because that'll be pretty amusing.
Yeah, I'm working on that. If I can do it in 15 seconds, that'll be an amazing. Be the Jimmy Johns of mortgages. I've always said, if I could figure out how Jimmy Johns can make something so fast, and I could do that in a mortgage, I mean, we've got it made.
Freaky fast.
It is freaky fast.
Yeah.
I've ordered them, and they beat me to the office. It's amazing how fast they do that. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is in the mortgage, there's so many little pieces in mortgage that hang up the process that don't really have to.
Right.
And that's my whole goal by the time I retire, is to have it to where I can just make this thing where it's as easy as possible. And we're getting there. We really are. We really are getting there. and there's so many, and again, you can still go as old school as you want with folks, but everything's there, and I think balancing it all out, and I think it's just been a good tool. And again, I appreciate you coming on to be able to kind of explain a little bit about what I'm about to launch to folks, as some of my people start seeing it, and I start reaching out to everybody, because I'm going to start doing presentations, and that's going to be part of my first time homebuyer presentations and stuff, is introducing this tool.
Love it.
Because I think it's going to be a really, really strong tool for everybody to use. And this will be shared on LinkedIn, so everybody will see you on LinkedIn, because they see you all over the place on LinkedIn, because you pop up on I'm going through my feed, and there's Brian. He's at that event. He's at that event. And now lately, how's it changed for you now? Do you have to be home?
It's I'm my DNA is not structured to be homebound the way I've been homebound. So it is. I'm definitely going stir crazy, being kind of confined. But the upside is we haven't missed a beat, here at Finlocker. In fact, the first week when everyone was kind of officially pivoting to a work from home environment, things slowed down for us in terms of engagement and demos and the like. But I'm busier, the last 4 weeks in terms of new client engagement, demos than ever before. And I think we're all learning, in every industry, that coming out of this crisis on the other end of it, there's going to be a new way to do business. Does it mean we're not going to go travel around and go to conferences? I think we're still going to do that, but we'll probably limit what we do, maybe, because we're kind of proving that we can still be efficient and effective in a remote manner. And there's unbelievable tools that are out there, like whatever the heck we're on here. I don't even know what this is. StreamYard. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, there's
StreamYard. It was one click and I was in. So
yeah, and that's it. I look for smooth and easy ways to make it work, because I've used everything I can, and if it has to, resistance is the big thing. If you give a lot of resistance to getting something done, that person's going to only do so much resistance before they stop.
That's right.
And I'm one of those. I'm just I don't want to.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking to do, is try to make things as simple as possible to make those things happen. And it is this new world and environment. I've been getting more and more Zoom meetings with clients, and I've been using Zoom because it's pretty much a one-click option.
Yeah.
And my weeks are filling up where normally, you have to go to the office, meet them face to face, that kind of stuff. And now they're okay. Before it was like, I'd rather meet you face to face.
Right.
Now they're still meeting me face to face.
Right.
We're sharing docs. We're uploading. I'm reviewing things. We're sharing screens. I'm going numbers, live numbers, changing them on the fly right there in front of them. Right. And it's become even more efficient. And I think people have been more excited about that. And so yeah, it's this. There's I guess you could say the light at the end of the tunnel of this whole thing is that everyone has understood now. It's accelerated this to where everyone understands. Yeah, you can do this. And
you think about there's 85, 90-year-old people now that they celebrated Easter on Zoom. They never happened before, so
would have never happened. Yeah, and so it's really brought I think what the Zooms in enrollments went up like 100 million or something like that. It was insane.
Yeah.
Good time to be Zoom.
No kidding.
But yeah, it's been a good thing. So, but anyway, I'll let you wrap up because I know you're busy. I like to keep everybody around 30 minutes. But and again, I'm excited to be rolling this out. So you'll start. The people that know me, you'll start hearing about it from me, and start pushing it out there. And I'll start doing. There'll be some presentations coming and everything. And then I'm sure everybody on LinkedIn will see you all over the place soon once you're released from from there. And it's awesome. Do you have anything you want to close out with?
No, I just I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to helping you get launched on Finlocker, and I'm sure we're going to learn new ways to engage consumers by the way you approach this. So I'm just excited to watch you take this thing and run with it.
I'm excited to get going with it. And after this, if you got a second, I'll circle up with you really quick.
Sure, you got it.
Because it's once I hit end, we're gone.
All right. Well, thanks for having me here live.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for everybody that watched. And David Coker, like your comment, buddy. You're awesome. And so I will circle up with you in just a little bit. And on Monday, guys, I have a great guest coming on, Guy Cosmo. He's a professional race car driver. And we're going to talk about how his life has changed a little bit and how things are changing in that industry as well. And just get into living in the fast lane with Guy. So that's coming up, and you'll see some promos on that. So, and I'm trying to do at least one or two a week. So you'll start seeing these on a regular basis, trying to highlight awesome stuff like this. So, all right.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll talk to you guys later.